How do you identify what games are worth playing or games to avoid? Again, this is a study in return on investment. And it's not just return, it's return on investment. So it's what are you going to have to put into this thing and what can we possibly get out of it and what are the risks involved? And then you just have to be honest with yourself. Just be honest with yourself. You're looking at some game. Want to get involved with a girl. Want to start a new business. Want to get involved in a club. You know, there's like a, Rotary Club or whatever. Want to get involved in that thing. Want to get involved in some volunteer organization, whatever it is. What are you going to have to put into it? What's the return going to be? And what are the risks involved? And be honest with yourself. There you go. Perfect example. Yep. He had to look at it. He's got this game. He knows what the investment is. It's his time. It's his effort. Yep. And he's putting everything into it. And he's already achieved. He's gotten what the return that he's gotten. He's like, you know what? I got enough money. I got enough fame. I got enough credit. Street cred from who gives street cred? Comedians cred or something? I don't know. Yeah. He looked at it, measured the ROI, and said, okay, cool, I'm done. And there you go. Yeah. Good metaphor there. How to know when you're playing the wrong game and it's time to quit or switch games. Okay. ROI, right? Measure the ROI. What are you getting out of this? If you're going to get a lot out of it, but it's a lot of effort, okay, well, is it worth the effort? Is it worth the investment? Time, money, leadership capital, whatever the thing is. Family. Is it going to be worth it? Or is it not? And so when you figure out the risks and you figure out the investment and you figure out the return you may or may not get based on those risks, okay, then you can make a decision. Now, what's interesting about this question is we're in the game. He's saying you're playing the wrong game. So now what we have to do is we have to do an honest assessment of our trajectory in this game, right? How well am I doing? Am I making progress? You know how now in the UFC, when you watch the UFC, they have the odds? They show the odds after each round.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Yeah, so now that's a new thing. I don't know how new it is, but it's a few years old. But like, Echo really did great in that last round against Jocko. His odds of winning now just went up.
Oh, damn.
Jocko just came back and had a great round. And plus, Echo was like stunned at the end of the round. It looks like he was going to get knocked out. He got saved by the bell. Jocko's odds just went up for the last round a lot. You have to do an assessment and see where you're at, right? And see what is your trajectory of what's happening. It's kind of like what you said you did with your jiu-jitsu career. You're like, okay, I'm 30, whatever, you're 34 years old. I'm the 7th best guy in my gym, which is not bad, but let's face it, we're one gym. Okay. Yeah. And I'm making progress, but so is everybody else. Okay, where am I at? Where am I going with this? Mm-hmm. Same thing with a job, Okay, I've been at this same job. I've been in this position for 4 years. I haven't been promoted in the last 3 years. I don't have a good relationship with my boss. This does not seem like it's a good fit for me. So you got to do an honest assessment of your trajectory and make a decision. One thing that you can do is you can kind of mitigate risk, right? This is a story I've told a few times, but Greg McIntyre.
Sure.
Greg Train. Yeah, Greg Train. At a certain point, Greg's a badass. He's a freaking great wrestler. His jiu-jitsu solid. He's a great athlete. He's a good boxer. And he was starting in the MMA scene. And he had real legit potential in MMA because he's a great wrestler, tough as nails, strong he's freaking 155 pounder. He's strong as hell. So Greg Train actually asked me, and this was like probably 15 or 20 years ago. This is a long time ago. Yeah. This is probably 20 years ago. He was like, what do you think I should do? Should I just dedicate my whole life right now to MMA? Mm-hmm. Or should I keep training, but also he wanted to get a degree. He wanted to become an x-ray technician. That's what he is, right? Yep. And I was like, listen, bro, how many hours a day can you train? Legitimately. And I said, can you train 16 hours a day? And he said, no. I said, no one can train 16 hours a day. How many, if you really train hard, how many hours a day can you train? Including recovery, like the whole 9 yards. He's like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5, right? That's like training, conditioning, recovery. Maybe you do 6. Maybe you do 6. Okay, you're going to work 8 hours a day. You sleep 8 hours a day. That's 16 hours, right? You got plenty of time to train, and you can still have a backup to MMA in case you go to wrestling practice tomorrow and blow your knee out, which can happen on any given day. And so he played both games, you know? And he you know, he had a good run at MMA. He also ran into some problems that were tough to deal with. And so he mitigated the risk, played more than one game at the same time. And when the MMA thing dried up, guess what? He still had a cool career, making good money, beautiful family, taking care of them, house, like the whole 9 yards. So that's a situation where he didn't necessarily quit the other game, but he mitigated the risk by playing multiple games at the same time.